All right, I had planned to throw this in at the end of another video, but it became so long that I decided it needed to be its own video by itself. So we are going to talk about this project and get started right after this. So I thought I'd show you my new thing that I got here. It's no secret at this point that I like the old advertising clocks. And I had never seen one of these before. And the other day somebody on Facebook showed the one that they had, and I thought, hey, that's kind of neat. So I searched on the internet and I found this one for sale. So it took a couple offers to get it where I thought it was a reasonable price. It was still slightly more than I would have liked to have given for it, but there it is. Now, I was told by the person that the clock part did not work, but the light did work. When I got it out of the box, I did plug it in, but I didn't get the light to light. But that could have been because it was super cold that day and it was fluorescent. So let's just give her, there we go, look at that. Let's see if we can. So that's kind of cute, right? But I don't know if I'm happy with that. And you're going to say, why? What? Well, typically on these clocks, I convert them to LED because of reliability. What do you want to say? Just, I don't know. But I got an LED bulb for it. So we're going to see if we can maybe make this swap over to LED, because it's only a matter of time before the ballast goes out. It's fluorescent, if you didn't get that. I've had it loose once just to see how it was constructed. We want to very gently go here. And then this piece slides out. And kind of what I was thinking I would do is, I was thinking I would disconnect the clock, if that's possible, for now. Let's see, how is it? Oh, is that a... Maybe that's not... The clock isn't electric, maybe. Is the clock battery powered? I can't see if it's got a wire going into it or not. Ooh. See, it's so brittle. I'm scared of breaking it. And we might also do something to reinforce it while we have it apart, because it makes me nervous. I mean, I don't know how much we want to do, but I think the clock is battery powered. I wonder if I take it off the other way. Let's do that. Of course, this way has screws. I don't want to destroy it. That's what I'm afraid of. And I don't know what I want to do. Well, let me look here and I'll see what I got handy. On that other clock, I had another clock that we worked on that was super duper rough. And I used hot glue, actually, on the back side. And that really worked to strengthen it. However, it is also very visible when you light the clock. So that's the trade-off you make. With anything you put on there is going to make it, it's going to show up. Let's see if we can gently get this out of there. I'm betting that somebody already has done this. So the question is, can you not get the clock out? Can you not get this out with the mechanism in place? I bet you can't. That's interesting. But that definitely is a battery powered, that's just a quartz battery movement. What to do here, friends? It would be super handy to have this out of the way. But do we want to go to the trouble of taking this all loose and then end up destroying worse than what we got? I'm just so terrified of that, of cracking that worse than it is. I mean, that's obviously why somebody did what they did here with a washer. Wow, that's actually a very robust clock movement. It ain't no cheapo. I mean, I wonder, does that take a C battery? I don't think I've ever seen one of these advertising clocks that had a movement like this in it. Yeah, battery this way. This might well work. I wonder if he just plugged it in and it lit up, but it didn't. The clock didn't move, so he thought the clock was bad, but I think it was just a matter of... So if we look at the back, somebody has clear taped it. And that clear tape was actually pretty invisible. I did not see it when it shined through, so I'm thinking about just clear taping this side over here to stiffen it up and hopefully prevent future cracking. So I think I've got some clear tape upstairs I'll go get, but let's work on this part of it. So this is just a 2-foot LED, and we have to look at what it actually, the bulb that I got, I thought was just one bulb, but it ends up it's a pack of like 6. Okay. Turn on the power, remove the old tube. Why would you want to do this hot? Turn on the power. Remove the cover to expose the ballast. Remove the starter. Cut the wire off the ballast and connect it with tape or wiring cap. Okay, let's take a look at this. This side actually has pictures. Okay, let's see what we got here. So, all of this is going to go away. This clock was originally an electric movement, because here's the 2 leads that would have went to that, and that's now gone. So somebody has, in fact, done some replacement stuff. But what I like to do on these clocks is not modify them. Like, I'm going to leave all this old stuff in place, so you could put it back to original if you wanted, but I'm going to make it more reliable in theory. So, it has 2 white wires here, and this one goes where? Into the starter. One comes from the wall, and the other one goes into the starter. So let's look at this. We probably need this picture, right? Neutral. One wire goes in, the other one goes to the starter. The one that goes to the starter then comes around and becomes this white wire. It goes over to this side, and then from the other side of that it leaves through the ballast, and then from the ballast it should go back to there. Boy, they've really done some sketchy wiring work with a lot of splices. So that's okay, because we're going to make this not this way. So let's just, basically what we're going to do is we're going to bypass both pieces, the starter and the ballast, and we're gonna connect it up direct. But we're going to also get rid of this extra lead if we can, because we don't need that anymore. That's just causing danger. Well, this is not doing what I wanted either, is it? Come on. All right. So this is going to go over here. I'm saying that they've even replaced the ballast with some kind of other... Somebody's been in this clock before. That's what I'm getting at here. Don't remember if I do or not. Probably should have bought some more. Okay. So there we bypassed the ballast, and it's just hanging out in there. Now this wire here, again, I'm not a fan of their reasoning, but that's okay. We are going to now take this. Okay. We want to get rid of that extra leg. So this other wire is going to come in. And then it goes into the bulb. And then when it leaves the bulb, it goes into the starter, and that's what we're going to bypass there. So we're going to undo this. Should I let you see? This little starter thing helps the fluorescent get going. And stuff buzzes, you know. Fluorescents make a buzz sound, and I don't like that. That's why I usually just do away with it. So there's the starter, and it is now bypassed. And now we're going to hook this white wire to this wire. And if this works, we can always go back and, you know, make this more better. This is just today it's kind of a proof of concept type of deal. I'm going to wrap this around here. I thought I was. I'm trying to just get this out of the way so that this doesn't interfere with anything, because it's doing nothing now. It's just along for the ride. Alright. Now, we get rid of this. We hopefully get rid of this. And we struggle bus, apparently. Oh, one of the terminals busted off the end of the... that's great. That's great. So that bulb is toast because one of the little thingamadooges just came out of it. So that's fine. So we're not going back with that one, that's for sure. Let's get one of these mini bulbs that we have. And then another thing I'm wondering, okay, this one is frosted on both sides. I was wondering if we're going to find out that we like it better one other way than another. So what I think has happened here is I think Ross should have taken the back of the clock apart to put the bulb in. I think that's what my issue is here. But that doesn't really work very good. Look at all the mess we're making, friends. There's the old transformer wire. Okay. We can do this. We've got it totally disassembled now. But it's gonna go. We're gonna put this bulb in like this. And then we're going to roll it up like that. And then we're going to slide the thing back together. Okay, we're gonna slide it back together. Why aren't we sliding? There we go. Okay. Let's see if this lights now. I'm wondering, did I accidentally pull the... No, I don't think so. Let's plug it in. All we can do is burn it all down, start a fire. Oh, kind of like that. That did not seem like that was appropriately wired, did it? Okay, so that's probably why they send you more than one, because that didn't work. So now the question is, why did that not work? Is the problem... Let's just get rid of the back of the clock. I'm wondering if I put it in backwards, and if that was important. And I think I might have. No. Okay, I didn't know that it was possible to roast an LED bulb, but I sure did. I think the problem is I basically had the hot and the ground connected, even though I did it just like their picture. It is not the way, friends. Oh, okay, so those are actually 3 steps, not 3 different pictures, and I didn't go to the final step, which is where you wire both ends together into one. Whoops. That's the kind of thing that happens to me, you know? So now the question is, did I ruin it beyond repair? Well, one bulb I did. Yeah, that's okay. I've done dumber stuff, you know? I thought that was kind of cool, you know? I never saw an LED bulb do that pattern before, so sure. Always read all 3 steps of the directions. Don't just stop it. Okay. All right. Now, this is actually nice too, because this is going to eliminate one of the wires that we were complaining about, you know? So we're just pulling all kinds of stuff loose here, friends. Well, this just doesn't play nice. Come on. We want to see it light up. This one's junk. That's so funny, really. Doesn't this just look crazy how I've got all this stuff every which way? And you're gonna say, why don't you just take that stuff out, like the ballast out, and save it in case you'd ever want to put it back? Well, the problem is you'll lose it. At least I would. I will never remember where it is, so I just leave them hang out in there. It ain't hurting nothing. Well, I say that and then it immediately falls out, so sure. Oh man. Okay, take 2. Now I know why they sell these in many multiple pairs. Also, I think that, well, I don't know that for sure either. I was gonna say I think that's backwards, but I think I might want that because it might not be so brilliant then on the front. Okay, take 2. Will it work or will it burn down the whole affair? Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. Woo. All right. Well, we learned some important stuff today, friends. We learned that, well, for one, this over here has all been up now. And I don't know if we did that just now or if that was ready that way. Somebody was kind of hard on this thing at one point because they notched out, like, the back of it was all notched out too. I don't know why someone would do that. Someone who didn't understand how this was made, kind of like me. Come on. Okay. Okay, come on, baby. Oh, that's not... Why did they do that? Okay, I see another issue, friends. Why would somebody do that? Is there something I'm missing? Oh, I bet I know. I bet it's because you wouldn't think that much would hit the that it would hit the clockworks. Surely not. I mean, because that other thing kind of sticks out part way. I'm bumfuzzled, friends. I'm gonna try to move it. This might be a bad mistake too, but I just can't see that. I can't go with this unless I have no other choice. I mean, like, what's one more set of holes? I mean, we'll slide the top cover on here in a second and see if we can get it to go, but I can't believe that. I mean, if we put it even like that, I actually thought about putting 2, like getting another set of sockets and putting two bulbs in it, which would also eliminate my problem then, because I wouldn't have, there would be an open space where the clockworks goes. I'm sure that's why they did that though, I bet. They did it because it's gonna hit. But that seems crazy too. Now, if I put this back on, and then I put those 2 screws back on, maybe. Okay. You like how I just have you like right in the business so you can't see anything? Okay, we can do it. All we gotta do is find the stuff we lost. Alright, let's put even though we're not technically done for real, I'm gonna try to put this on. just to see if I have to take it right back off again. I don't think it's going to affect that. I think it's going to work fine. Because if I put this clockwork in there, is it going to hit the... No, I think that'd be fine. Okay. I'm going to go get some clear tape, and I'm going to tape that up back there, and then I might go through once I put it all back together, I might leave it lay flat and try to just put a few drops of super glue in some places to try to help hold that together so it doesn't ever get any worse. But this is about as good as you're going to get with one of these because of this type of material. It's just, it gets so brittle with age, this plasticky stuff. I don't know if it's if it's really plastic or if it's some other type of something, but it's like a clear plastic almost, but it gets super duper brittle. But I'm going to get some tape like they did there because that stiffened it up, and we'll put it back together. We'll light it up, we'll look at that and see how pretty it is, and then we'll call the video quits, but I'll probably end up gently gluing it just to be sure that it's good. I got some good Gorilla super glue that works really well, and it dries clear and you can't see it, but you have to be very gentle that you don't get it all over. But if I have tape on the back, that's also going to help that situation, you know. So I'll go grab it and we'll see what happens. All right. I don't know that this is really film worthy here because this is going to be very strenuous and very nerve-wracking. At least it is for me. Maybe not. Maybe it won't be. But it just seems like it will be. I just don't want this to break anymore. So I wonder if I can, if I just go all the way across. One. Future preservationists, you can redo it a more appropriate way, but for me, I just want to make sure that stiffened it up a lot. That stiffened it up a lot. I think I'll do another one this way. Okay, let's see what that did for us. We're going to have to gently, he says, as he doesn't do it gently at all, but carve that hole open again. Yeah, it feels more solid, and that's what we were after. Get that going there. Now we have to gently get that clockwork put back in there. Come on, clockwork. like that. Now we need to put this one on here. Right there. Then, okay. I was pretty sure that this was on there, wasn't it? But that doesn't make sense, because this one would need to be on that, but they wouldn't rub like that, so. Or did it go like this? No, it was the other way. Oh, the problem is this is like, for my giant meat hooks, this is much too tedious of work. But it was like this. But that's not right either, because then this won't go on there correctly. That's supposed to grab, and it's not grabbing. And I'm wondering if this is not, I wonder if they reused the hands from the old clock motor, and this is not working right. We'll leave it at 3 o'clock. It's on there, but that's not exactly the way they're supposed to be. Those things are supposed to have a, like each hand has its own spot to go, and this top one has a square drive like, and then it fits on there, and then like your second hand would spin on in place of this nut, and then all 3 pieces move independently, and they don't have it that way. And I'm afraid what they got now, if we put a battery in it, that this hand would run around like the second hand, because it's not really mechanically connected to the shaft, and the hole that's in it is bigger than the hole that, or than the piece that's on there. So I think that we need to maybe investigate getting an actual clock motor that works, and we might go back to an electric one, because it's obvious it had an electric one at one point, because we took off the jumper wires that would have went to the clock motor. They just left hang out in there. So I don't know, but I think we greatly improved this, and it, quite honestly, it doesn't need to tell time, because I don't use them that way. I turn the lights on and just look at them, you know, and they're only on when I'm there. They're not on 24 hours a day, because that would be silly. That would just wear them out sooner, and I don't want that. I want them to last the rest of my time so I can enjoy them. Let's try this once more now. Now that we've got it. Ouch. There. Oh, look at it in all its splendor. And actually, the tape is invisible. The clock motors, when they're like that, they're the most visible thing, because I've got a New Idea Ag 1 clock that's clear, and it's got a quartz battery movement in it, and you can see it very clearly too, just like that. And you can see the wire for the light it must be resting against here. But the tape part, that's perfect. I mean, you can't see that at all. So I'll lay it down flat and give it a few drops of glue here, there, and yonder to help stiffen it too. I'll test it on the edges to make sure it's not going to bleed the color or something. But that's pretty cool. It's another clock I didn't have, and I'm impressed that the LED bulb that I got isn't overwhelming. That's always the struggle too. Sometimes you get them and they're just too brilliant, and you can't even look at the clock. But this is a gentle, like a glow. But I got a frosted LED, which is the trick I learned. If you get one that's clear, they're super bright. This one is forever junk, but anyway. Yeah, I'm tempted to, yeah, let's see what, Oh, that was actually, was that actually glass? Well, I wouldn't have guessed that. It's an LED strip inside a piece of glass. Huh. This one's fried, so I just wanted to see what was in there. I figured it was plastic, but that is actually glass, so it'll be more difficult to dispose of now. But anywho's, I'm stoked about this clock. This really looks cool. If anybody knows anything about this dealer, leave it in the comments, because I got no idea where that dealer was, or if they still is. I don't know. I mean, is that a Canadian dealer, or is it up in the, you know, the Scandinavian states, like Minnesota, Wisconsin type of area? That ain't a name that we see down in these parts. That's not German. There's no umlauts. So, but anyway, if you know who that is or where that is, I'd be curious to see that. But I am stoked. It's ready to hang on the wall and become a nightlight, I guess. So hopefully you didn't find this too boring, but I figured I'd just throw it in another video where I did something else, because typically the clock videos just don't do that great. But I don't know. It's something that I find neat, and anyway, hopefully you found it interesting too. But until next time, we're going to leave this one here. As always, if you enjoy my videos, give them a thumbs up. Leave a comment and tell me how dumb you think I am. Or if by some slim chance you liked it, say that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.